The series begins by showing a beautiful young woman named Duo trying on her wedding dress. She smiles happily as she looks at herself in the mirror. At that moment, a store employee suggests it would be better if her fiancé was there to do the fitting with her. Duo then calls her fiancé, who informs her that he cannot accompany her. Upon hearing this, Duo remains calm and explains the situation to her fiancé without getting angry. However, what Duo doesn't know is that her fiancé, Qin Lang, is currently spending intimate time with his mistress, Li Wei, at a hotel. Soon after, Li Wei checks Qin Lang's phone and finds a selfie sent by Duo. Instead of hiding their affair, Li Wei purposely reveals it to Duo. She takes a picture of Qin Lang sleeping with lipstick on his face and sends it along with the hotel location to Duo. Furious upon receiving the message, Duo rushes to the hotel. When she arrives at their hotel room, Duo finds her fiancé and Li Wei in bed together, with their clothes scattered across the floor. Enraged, Duo pushes Li Wei, but instead of feeling guilty, her fiancé defends Li Wei and scolds Duo. In her fury, Duo slaps Qin Lang, while Li Wei pretends to be a victim, making Qin Lang feel sorry for her and blaming Duo, calling her a troublemaker. Still angry, Duo removes her engagement ring and throws it away. She also tosses all of their clothes outside, forcing Qin Lang and Li Wei to leave the hotel wrapped in nothing but bath towels. To humiliate them further, Duo takes many pictures of the scene. Soon after, Duo discovers that the hotel they booked for the wedding was not canceled, and the wedding will still take place, but the bride has been replaced to Li Wei. Upset, Duo meets with her best friend, Chengzi, and vows to get revenge on Qin Lang and Li Wei. Not long after, on Li Wei's wedding day, Duo confidently appears at the bride's venue. At that moment, Qin Lang's mother, Lu Yuqin, is pleased that her son is finally marrying Li Wei. It turns out that Yuqin never approved of his son's relationship with Duo and believes Li Wei is a much better match for him. Yuqin then tells Qin Lang that Qin Shi, his uncle and the head of the Qin family, will be attending the wedding. She hopes her son will behave well and gain his uncle's approval. Shortly after, the wedding begins with Li Wei walking down the aisle, where Qin Lang is waiting for her with a happy smile on his face. At the same time, Duo, also wearing a white wedding dress, appears in front of everyone. Yuqin, upon seeing this, angrily tries to chase Duo away. Unexpectedly, Duo humiliates Qin Lang by throwing out the photos of them cheating at the hotel. Not only that, Duo declares that she no longer wishes to marry someone as awful as Qin Lang because she has found a much better partner to marry. Soon after, Duo pulls Qin Shi, who had just arrived, to her side and whispers to him, asking him to cooperate with her. Surprisingly, Qin Shi agrees and plays along, pretending to be her new fiancé. This leaves Qin Lang speechless on stage and causes an uproar among the guests. It turns out that before Duo entered the wedding hall, she received a call from her best friend, who had found someone to pretend to be her fiancé. At the same time, Qin Shi appeared behind Duo, and she mistakenly thought Qin Shi was the person her friend had hired. Duo then gave Qin Shi a large sum of money, asking him to act well. Although Qin Shi realized that Duo misunderstood him, he still agreed to play his part in the wedding. Qin Shi then loudly declared to everyone that he was Duo's new fiancé. Duo suggested that if they were going to get married, they should do it together since no one seemed to care. Unexpectedly, Qin Shi confessed his feelings to Duo in front of everyone and even openly asked Qin Lang to step aside because he wanted to marry Duo right then and there. Since they didn't have rings prepared, Qin Shi ordered Qin Lang to hand over the rings, and he obediently gave them the rings that were supposed to be used for his wedding. Seeing this, Duo proudly put on the ring and gave a smug smile to Li Wei, while the guests cheered and congratulated Qin Shi and Duo on their marriage. Soon after, Duo began to realize something was wrong and asked who Qin Shi really was. However, Qin Shi reminded her to continue pretending to be his bride. At the same time, the wedding officiant asked them to kiss, and Duo, feeling nervous, closed her eyes. Sensing her tension, Qin Shi gently kissed her forehead instead. After Qin Shi and Duo completed their wedding ceremony, Qin Lang went on to marry Li Wei. However, since they no longer had rings, Qin Lang replaced it with a canned tab ring until they could buy new wedding rings. Because of this, Li Wei was furious that her wedding ring had been taken by Duo, while the guests lined up to congratulate Qin Shi on his marriage. Duo eventually realized that she had mistaken Qin Shi for the person Cheng Zi had hired. As a result, she immediately apologized to Qin Shi, but he didn't seem bothered. Qin Lang then congratulated Duo on her marriage, but he addressed her casually. Hearing this, Qin Shi immediately glared at Qin Lang for disrespecting Duo as his wife, making Qin Lang tremble and too scared to ask for his ring back. Shortly afterward, Duo stepped out of the party hall and thanked Qin Shi for helping her. Qin Shi didn't mind at all, and after Duo left, he confidently looked at his crescent moon tattoo, smiling because they had finally reunited after so many years. At the same time, the man Cheng Zi had hired had been waiting for a long time and asked Qin Shi when Duo would get married. Instead of answering, Qin Shi immediately sent him away. Meanwhile, Yu Qin grew suspicious of Qin Shi and Duo's relationship, so she sent someone to follow Duo. Soon after, Yu Qin received a report from her staff that Qin Shi didn't go home with Duo as she returned to her rented house. Upon learning this, Yu Qin quickly guessed that they were a fake couple. The next day at work, Duo was very upset to learn that she had now become Li Wei's assistant. Not only that, Duo discovered that Li Wei had stolen her designs and used them under her own name. Furious, Duo confronted Li Wei to ask what was going on. Upon their meeting, Li Wei smugly told Duo that she was now her assistant and had to obey all her orders. She also added that everything Duo owned, including her designs, now belonged to her. At that moment, Li Wei openly mocked Duo by pretending to drop her pen and ordering Duo to pick it up. She also ridiculed her fake marriage with Qin Shi, making Duo so angry that she threw things off the table. During this time, Qin Lang arrived to see Li Wei, but she deliberately caused a scene, telling Qin Lang that Duo had slapped her. As a result, Qin Lang immediately demanded that Duo apologize to Li Wei. But Duo refused, blaming Qin Lang for forgetting their 7 years together. In response, Qin Lang argued that he knew Duo very well, claiming that she was a competitive and impulsive woman. He even went as far as calling Duo rude and stubborn. Upon hearing this, Duo played a recording of Li Wei mocking her, but Qin Lang still didn't believe her, while Li Wei accused Duo of doing it on purpose, and Qin Lang sided with Li Wei. Fed up with both of them, Duo threw the recording and stormed off. Soon after, Duo told her best friend everything. Hearing this, Cheng Zi suggested that Duo ask Qin Shi for help, but Duo thought it was too soon to ask him for a favor since they had just met. Therefore, she decided to handle the problem on her own. Duo then filed a complaint, claiming that Li Wei had plagiarized her jewelry design. As Duo was about to leave her office, she was stopped by Yu Qin and Li Wei. At the same time, Qin Shi's secretary, Zhang, witnessed the situation and informed his boss. It turned out that Yu Qin had already learned about the complaint. With arrogance, Yu Qin stated that she could block all emails Duo had sent to the company executives. Yu Qin, believing that Duo was doing this just to get Qin Lang's attention and win him back, told Duo to stay away from her son. She even offered Duo money to leave Qin Lang's life. However, Duo threw the card back, saying the amount was too little. Duo also mentioned that she had plenty of photos of Qin Lang and Li Wei and was considering posting them online to publicly shame them. Upon hearing this, Yu Qin became furious and attempted to throw a teacup at Duo. But unexpectedly, Duo noticed this and quickly grabbed her hand. Duo managed to get hold of the cup and swiftly poured the tea over Yu Qin's face. Duo then warned them not to think they could resolve the issue easily unless Li Wei publicly apologized for stealing her design draft. At that moment, Qin Shi arrived and asked about Duo's condition. Qin Shi demanded that Li Wei apologize to Duo, threatening to kick her out of the Qin family. Hearing this, Li Wei had no choice but to apologize to Duo. Reluctantly, she took a cup of tea and poured it over her own head. Before leaving, Qin Shi warned them to stop bothering Duo, whom he referred to as his wife. In the car, Qin handed his business card to Duo, suggesting that she contact him if they ever intimidated her again. He also mentioned that he could offer her many advantages, as he was the CEO of the Qin group. Soon after, Qin slowly approached Duo and tried to charm her. Feeling embarrassed, Duo quickly left the car. The next day, Duo was shocked when her landlord suddenly asked her to move out. Confused, she inquired and soon discovered that Li Wei had bought the apartment building and instructed the landlord to evict her immediately. Upon learning this, Duo called Qin and scolded him for his ungrateful behavior. However, Qin accused Duo of seeking revenge, claiming he had heard a different version of the story from Li Wei. Apparently, Li Wei had told Qin that Duo had been bullying her and his mother, and Qin believed her. Duo became even more frustrated as Qin showed his affection towards Li Wei, accusing Duo of deliberately causing trouble because she wanted him back. After hanging up, Duo took a deep breath to calm herself. She could see that Li Wei was determined to ruin her life, so she decided to get her revenge. The next day, Qin and Li Wei were walking towards her office, where Li Wei acted like a spoiled child, pretending to be weak so that Qin would always protect her. When they arrived at the office, they found that Duo had cleaned and organized it. Seeing this, Qin was pleased, thinking that Duo had taken the initiative to change her attitude and separate work matters from her personal life. However, after Qin left, Duo took her revenge on Li Wei by slapping her. Li Wei ran off crying, but this time Duo was not fooled. She played along with her act, accusing Li Wei of hitting her instead. Duo even smeared lipstick on her face to make it look like she had been hurt. Fortunately, this time, Qin believed Duo and thought Li Wei had been too aggressive. At the same time, Qin, who had just arrived at the office, learned that Li Wei had hit Duo. Qin immediately scolded Li Wei and rushed to protect Duo, taking her away from the scene. Later, at Qin's office, Duo wiped off the lipstick from her face and asked why he had helped her. Duo also told him that he didn't need to get involved because she could handle the situation on her own. As Duo was about to leave, Qin reminded her that the plagiarism accusation against Li Wei would be difficult to dismiss if she relied on herself alone. Qin then offered to help her resolve the issue if Duo agreed to marry him officially for 3 months. It turned out that Qin was being pressured by his family to marry soon, and he chose Duo to be his wife. Not wanting to miss out on such a good offer, Duo immediately agreed. Sometime later, in a meeting room, Duo relied on her knowledge of the jewelry design drafts and subtly exposed Li Wei's fraud in front of everyone. Realizing that Li Wei had been proven guilty of stealing the jewelry design, Qin did not dare to defend Li Wei and felt disappointed in her. At the same time, Qin decided to fire Li Wei as punishment for stealing Duo's designs. In the following days, Qin brought Duo to meet his mother and have dinner with his family. At the same time, Li Wei and Qin were also there for the dinner. While Qin and Qin stepped away to discuss business matters, Li Wei took the opportunity to intimidate Duo by trying to push her into the water. Fortunately, Duo managed to avoid it, but the gift in Li Wei's hand fell into the water instead. Seeing this, Li Wei immediately scolded Duo, saying that the gift was meant for Mrs. Qin's mother, the former head of the Qin family and the most respected member of the family. She also told Duo that Mrs. Qin might throw her out, as she despised women from poor families who didn't meet the family standards, like Duo. During the dinner, Li Wei accused Duo of being immoral in front of Mr. Qin, claiming that she had thrown away the gift meant for Mrs. Qin. However, instead of defending herself, Duo confidently approached Mrs. Qin and introduced herself as her daughter-in-law. Duo even called her mother, which shocked everyone, who thought she was being too bold. On the other hand, Mrs. Qin noticed a crescent-shaped birthmark behind Duo's ear and immediately understood, smiling at her. Mrs. Qin then publicly acknowledged Duo as her daughter-in-law, forcing Li Wei and Qin to kneel and apologize to Qin and Duo. When Mrs. Qin saw the crescent birthmark, she realized that Duo was the woman Qin had been searching for all these years. As a result, Mrs. Qin declared that if Qin loved Duo, then she would cherish her too. On the way home, Qin proposed to Duo, asking her to continue pretending to be his wife, but Duo immediately refused and demanded her payment. Afterward, Duo decided to find a new place to live. Soon after, she found a house for rent at just 1,000 yuan per month. Excited about the affordable price, Duo signed the contract without reading it carefully. What she didn't know was that Qin had been trying to get closer to her and had deliberately allowed her to rent the house at a low price. After happily moving in and enjoying the swimming pool in the backyard, Qin suddenly appeared from the water. Duo immediately scolded him for his trickery, but Qin calmly stated that he owned the house and had the right to live there. He also pointed out that the rental contract clearly mentioned that the tenant must share the house with the owner. When she was about to argue, Qin showed her a corner of the house filled with all the jewelry designs she had created. He intended to make that space her personal workspace. Upon seeing this, Duo reluctantly agreed to stay with him. That night, Qin noticed Duo had fallen asleep at the table, next to a photo from her childhood. Qin smiled as he looked at her, especially when he saw the crescent-shaped birthmark behind her ear. It reminded him of something Duo had told him when they were children. Duo once said that the crescent shape behind her ear could glow. Her presence had always made Qin feel safe and less afraid. The next day, Qin apologized to Duo, admitting that he had been deceived by Li Wei. He also hoped for her forgiveness and offered his apartment as a gift. However, Duo refused and told Qin to stay away from her. At the same time, Qin witnessed the scene and became very angry. When they got home, Qin gave Duo a set of keys to all the houses he owned across the country, showing off his wealth, which far exceeded Qin. But Duo declined, stating that she wasn't interested in his wealth and only agreed to be his wife according to their agreement. That night, Qin couldn't sleep well, constantly thinking about what Qin had said to Duo earlier that day. Worried that Duo might choose to go back to Qin called Zhang with a plan in mind. The next day, Duo went to work and learned that the company had a new leader, sparking curiosity about who it was. At that moment, Qin arrived at the company, and from the reactions of the employees, Duo quickly realized that he was the new leader. Qin then promoted Duo to the position of designer, even though she had just joined the company. He also suggested a dinner party to celebrate her promotion. That evening, all the employees attended the celebration. Duo quietly reminded Qin not to reveal their personal relationship. However, Qin intentionally stood in front of everyone and hinted that he had a special relationship with Duo. To deflect suspicion, Duo playfully stuffed a piece of grilled meat into Qin's mouth, lightening the mood. At the same time, a manager tried to show off his drinking skills, but accidentally spat it out. At the barbecue party, Duo's coworkers began gossiping about how she had tried to seduce Qin, and now, upon realizing that Qin was wealthier, she was trying to charm him too. Upon hearing this, Duo became furious and tried to defend herself. Meanwhile, Qin, overhearing the conversation, took the initiative to hug Duo, declaring that he had been pursuing her, but she always refused to give him a chance. The two female coworkers quickly realized they had misjudged Duo and apologized, but Qin demanded that they both resign immediately. In the following days, Qin packed up his belongings as he had been transferred to a branch office in the suburbs on Qin's orders. Li Wei begged Qin to protest, as she didn't want to move to the suburbs. However, Qin blamed Li Wei for constantly plotting to intimidate Duo, and he admitted that he regretted marrying her. Soon after, Li Wei secretly went to Duo's office and stole her design drafts, seeking revenge. The next day, when Duo arrived at work, she discovered that the necklace she designed had already been publicly released. Qin then presented her with the first necklace she had designed and placed it around her neck. Although Duo was pleased, she felt that something was wrong. Shortly after, a manager named Wang came to report that a rival company had launched a new necklace that looked exactly like Duo's design. And now the internet was flooded with negative reviews about her. To prevent the situation escalate further, Qin ordered the negative comments to be removed, but Duo stopped him. She believed in her design and was certain it wasn't fake. Therefore, she wanted to find proof that the design was hers, and Qin decided to accompany her. Not long after, Duo took Qin back to her hometown, where she had drawn the design sketch 10 years ago. At that time, Duo had won first place with a painting of a tree that was featured in the local newspaper. Information about the contest could also be found online. For this reason, Duo was confident that finding the sketch would prove her innocence. She further explained that the design was inspired by a tree in the countryside. After Duo's parents passed away, she was raised by her grandmother. When her grandmother passed, the tree became her loyal companion. Soon after, when Duo couldn't find the sketchbook at her house, she remembered her childhood friend, Shan Shan, and took Qin to meet him. Shan Shan was thrilled to see Duo, hugged her, and asked her to be his girlfriend. Not only that, Shan Shan also confessed that he had liked Duo since elementary school and wouldn't return the sketchbook unless she agreed to be his girlfriend. Upon hearing that, Qin was immediately furious and wanted to reveal their relationship, but Duo stopped him. Shan Shan then offered Duo a drink, but Qin intervened and wouldn't let her drink. Instead, he took the wine himself and drank it. Qin also announced that Duo was his wife. However, Shan Shan was only joking, as he was already married and had a son. Shortly after, Duo brought Qin to the tree and told him that as a child, she used to come there every day to play and draw the tree. It had always been there for her in both sad and happy times, bringing her comfort. Fortunately, the tree was still standing, proving that Duo had drawn the design years ago. Surprisingly, Qin hugged Duo and said that he too would always be by her side and protect her. At that moment, Duo tried to push him away, but unexpectedly, Qin kissed her. Later, Duo brought Qin back to her house and laid him down on the bed, unable to resist touching his lips. As Duo sat on the sofa, trying to calm her racing heart, Qin secretly glanced at her, unable to hide his smile. Not long after, Qin woke up in the middle of the night and saw Duo asleep on the sofa. He walked over to the wall where Duo's awards were displayed and remembered receiving a letter from her while he was living abroad. Apparently, after her grandmother passed away, a mysterious person had supported her education until she graduated from college. In her letter, Duo had mentioned that she would study diligently and one day repay the kindness of those who had helped her, proving that their efforts were not in vain. Surprisingly, the person who had been supporting her all along was Qin, and it was revealed that he had loved Duo since the first time he met her. At the press conference the following day, a male reporter named Lin bombarded Duo with accusatory questions, trying to cast her in a bad light. Lin accused Duo of plagiarism and told everyone that the online link to her award could not be accessed. Hearing this, the crowd at the press conference grew more suspicious of her. Unexpectedly, Qin stood up to defend Duo, but Lin went further, accusing them of having an inappropriate relationship. He also claimed that Duo had relied on Qin to get her position as the lead designer. Worse, Lin even displayed photos of them together at home. However, Qin had prepared evidence and publicly announced that Duo was his wife. He then kissed Duo and began to expose Lin's true identity as the nephew of a rival company CEO who had been pretending to be a journalist all along. Not only that, Qin also showed a newspaper article that reported Duo's victory in a painting competition 10 years ago, proving that she was the rightful owner of the design. After Qin exposed his lies, Lin left the scene in shame as all the cameras turned on him. Soon after, Qin asked the reporters not to focus on Duo as his wife, but to recognize her as a talented designer in her own right. Feeling embarrassed, Duo quickly left without giving any statements regarding her marriage to Qin. The news spread quickly and was covered by various media outlets, eventually reaching Chengzi, who confronted Duo for keeping her special relationship with Qin, their boss, a secret. Duo had no choice but to explain everything, including her contractual relationship with Qin. After hearing the full story, Chengzi assumed that Qin had fallen in love with Duo. Chengzi then asked Duo if she had any feelings for Qin. Hearing this, Duo denied having any feelings, but she couldn't hide her happiness when she received a message from Qin inviting her to meet. Seeing this, Chengzi teased Duo, saying that any woman would be attracted to a handsome man like Qin. Meanwhile, Qin Lang accidentally saw messages on Li Wei's phone between her and the CEO of their rival company. In that moment, Qin Lang finally realized that Li Wei was behind everything. Because of this, they had a heated argument, during which Qin Lang admitted that he regretted loving Li Wei blindly and hurting Duo. At the same time, Li Wei tried to defend herself, claiming she did it all for Qin Lang, but Qin Lang accused her of doing everything for her own selfish reasons. In the end, Qin Lang filed for divorce, which only fueled Li Wei's anger towards Duo. In the following days, Qin Shi was seen planning a surprise proposal in a flower garden with a ring and flowers, confident that Duo would accept his proposal after discussing the plan with Zhang. At the same time, Duo, dressed up and ready to meet Qin Shi, received a call from Qin Lang. He hoped to speak with her and make amends for the design draft theft by Li Wei, but Duo refused to meet him, reminding him that their relationship was over. Shortly after, as Duo was about to cross the street, a truck suddenly sped towards her. Fortunately, Qin Lang arrived just in time to push her out of the way, though he was hit by the truck in the process and severely injured. Seeing this, Duo quickly called an ambulance to take Qin Lang to the hospital. When Yuqin found out that her son was critically injured and unconscious, she blamed everything on Duo. At the same time, Qin Shi arrived at the hospital and immediately took Duo away. In the car, Duo felt guilty for ignoring Qin Lang. At that moment, Qin Shi tried to comfort her by saying it was just an accident, but Duo was convinced that what had just happened wasn't an accident. On the other hand, Li Wei told Yuqin that Qin Lang was suffering because of Duo. Not only had he been transferred to a branch office in the suburbs, but Li Wei also claimed that Duo had manipulated him into filing for divorce. Li Wei further alleged that Duo was seeking revenge on Qin Lang because he refused to return to her. She even pointed out that Qin Lang's last phone call before the accident had been to Duo, which Li Wei used as evidence of Duo's involvement in the crash. Upon knowing this, Yuqin became furious and vowed to take revenge on Duo, even though it was all part of Li Wei's conspiracy. Initially, Li Wei had intended to kill Duo, but when Qin Lang unexpectedly appeared on the street and got severely injured, she used the opportunity to blame Duo for everything. Meanwhile, after ordering Zhang to investigate, they discovered that the accident site not only had broken surveillance cameras, but that the vehicle involved was a stolen car with fake license plates. There was no evidence left at the scene, which further convinced Duo and Qin Shi that someone was behind this, intending to harm Duo. To protect her, Qin Shi hired 4 bodyguards. However, Duo refused the protection, determined to use herself as bait to lure out the real perpetrator. Soon after, Duo received a call from Qin Lang's mother, informing her that Qin Lang had awakened from his coma. But when Duo arrived at the hospital, she found that Qin Lang had not woken up at all. Yuqin then asked Duo to come closer and speak to Qin Lang. Unexpectedly, Yuqin grabbed a nearby fruit knife and tried to attack Duo with it, accusing her of being behind the accident and blaming her for her son's condition. Duo apologized for what happened to Qin Lang, but she firmly stated that she had no involvement in the accident. At that moment, Zhang arrived and informed Qin Shi that the driver had been caught, but the driver claimed that he had been hired by Duo. Upon hearing this, Yuqin immediately grabbed the fruit knife from the floor and attempted to stab Duo. Qin Shi, standing nearby, quickly realized the danger and shielded Duo, though he was injured in the process. During this moment, Qin Lang, lying in the hospital bed, finally woke up from his coma. Soon after, Duo was seen leaving the hospital room to be taken to the police station. Meanwhile, Li Wei, hiding in the corner of the room, smirked with satisfaction after witnessing Duo's arrest. Li Wei visited Qin Lang in the hospital and revealed her devious plan to blame Duo and send her to prison for the accident. As the truth unfolded and Li Wei arrogantly boasted about successfully getting rid of Duo, Qin Lang suddenly woke up. Not only that, Duo and Qin Shi also appeared in the room, so Qin Shi immediately ordered his bodyguards to arrest her. At that moment, Li Wei tried to defend herself, but Qin Lang firmly stated that he could testify about her involvement in the accident, as he had overheard her conversation with the driver. Soon after, Duo was seen tending to Qin-Chi's knife wound at home. During this time, Qin-Chi remarked that they had been through so much together, so she should treat him kindly. In the following days, Duo was shocked when Wang informed her that she had been promoted to lead designer. Instead of being happy, Duo felt frustrated because she realized the promotion was not due to her achievements, but rather because she was the CEO's wife. That evening, Qin-Chi approached Duo and confessed his love to her. He leaned in to kiss her, but Duo, feeling nervous, pushed him away. Frustrated by her constant avoidance, Qin-Chi proposed that they go on 3 dates. If after those 3 dates Duo still didn't have feelings for him, he promised to let her go. Finding the offer reasonable, Duo agreed. Meanwhile, Qin Lang handed divorce papers to Li Wei, who had been released from prison after he had reluctantly paid her bail to protect the Qin family's reputation. At that moment, Li Wei begged him not to divorce her, but she continued to blame Duo for everything. However, Qin Lang, deeply disappointed and no longer trusting Li Wei, insisted that she sign the divorce papers and try to be a better person. After Qin Lang left, Li Wei went to Yu Qin, pleading with her mother-in-law to defend her. But Yu Qin, equally disappointed, especially after Li Wei hurt her son, told her to proceed with the divorce. Unexpectedly, Li Wei claimed that she could make Qin Lang the head of Qin Group, replacing Qin-Chi, if Yu Qin would give her a chance to fix everything. The next day, Qin-Chi instructed Zhang to reserve a table at a French restaurant and prepare a surprise for Duo. Soon after, the anticipated day finally arrived, and Duo went with Qin-Chi to the French restaurant, which had been booked in advance. Seeing the French language filling the menu, Duo immediately felt confused as she didn't understand French. Qin-Chi noticed that Duo was having trouble choosing a dish, so he took the menu and ordered for her. Qin-Chi then said that he had a special appetizer for her, but Duo didn't know that the appetizer was a woman playing the violin. During the performance, Duo wasn't impressed, so Qin-Chi dismissed the violinist and called in a magician, but Duo still didn't seem interested. Next, Qin-Chi brought in a dancer to entertain them, but Duo only felt uncomfortable, covering her face and thinking of escaping the situation. Seeing this, Qin-Chi felt a bit disappointed and sent the dancer away. He then took Duo's hand and expressed his feelings. Although their date hadn't gone well and he knew love couldn't be forced, Qin-Chi promised that he would do his best to make Duo fall in love with him. Touched by his sincerity, Duo gently patted his hand. Unbeknownst to them, Li Wei was secretly taking photos of them, clearly plotting another scheme to harm Duo. The next day at work, Duo was informed by the manager that the legal case regarding her plagiarism allegations was still ongoing, and as a result, she had to be disqualified from the jewelry design competition. Though saddened by the news, Duo reluctantly accepted the decision. After Qin Lang was discharged from the hospital, he came to Duo's office in a wheelchair. He returned the design book that Li Wei had stolen from Duo, hoping it would help her fight the plagiarism charges. As if making a decision, Qin Lang also told Duo that if Qin-Chi ever hurt her, he would always be there to protect her. However, his words only upset Duo, and she asked him to leave. Soon after, Qin-Chi called Duo to his office, inviting her on another date, as he wanted to take her somewhere special. Though Duo was hesitant because of their complicated relationship, she saw the sincerity in Qin-Chi's eyes and agreed to go with him. Qin-Chi then took Duo to a charity auction, attended by wealthy individuals with high social status. During the event, Qin-Chi let Duo browse through some jewelry that was up for auction while he stepped away to handle some business. At the same time, Duo overheard someone speaking poorly about her behind her back. When she turned around, she saw a middle-aged woman named Qian mocking her. Qian was the wife of one of Qin-Chi's relatives, who held a lower status in the family, but she arrogantly mocked Duo, who was now Qin-Chi's wife. During the moment, Qian mentioned that Qin-Chi once deeply loved another woman and had even wanted to marry her. Hearing this, Duo was upset and quickly responded, telling Qian to mind her own business and show respect to her as the head of the family's wife. Seeing that the middle-aged woman nearly had a heart attack, Duo chose to end the argument as the auction was about to begin. Shortly afterward, Qin-Chi led Duo to the auction and sat with her in the front row, while the woman who had provoked Duo sat behind them. The auction began with a painting worth millions of yuan, which shocked Duo. Noticing her surprised expression, Qian sneered and mocked Duo, calling her a poor country girl. However, Qin overheard her remark and gave her a sharp glare, silencing her instantly. When the final item was revealed, Duo was astonished to see it was a pair of earrings she had designed. It turned out that Qin had donated the earrings to the auction. The starting price for the earrings was only 5,000 yuan, but the guests quickly became interested and started bidding. As the price climbed to 100,000 yuan, Qin made a sudden bid of 10 million yuan. The room was left in stunned silence, and the earrings were ultimately sold to Qin. After the final bid, Qin was invited on stage. He took the earrings and told everyone that they represented his wife's hard work and dedication, making them incredibly valuable to him. Qin then expressed his hope that the 10 million yuan donation would help children in rural areas to change their destinies and fulfill their dreams, just as Duo had. Moved by his heartfelt words, Duo felt grateful that she was contributing to a cause that would help underprivileged children. Qin's speech earned applause from the crowd, and Duo began to look at him with newfound admiration. After the auction, Duo held Qin's hand as they walked toward the exit. She gently complained that he hadn't informed her about the donation beforehand, but Qin didn't seem concerned. He explained that he had always intended to use the money for charity while also promoting her designs. However, Duo remained worried, not wanting people to think she was using Qin to advance her career. Qin reassured her and encouraged her with heartfelt words, which deeply moved Duo. It was the first time she felt someone truly believed in her. As Qin reached out to touch her face, Duo accidentally noticed the crescent moon tattoo on his palm and asked about it. In response, Qin replied that the tattoo was a reminder of someone very important in his life. That night, Duo couldn't stop thinking about Qin's crescent moon tattoo, suspecting it was related to his ex-girlfriend, which left her feeling uneasy. As Duo was about to return to her room, she discovered a gift box containing a blue dress and a card from Qin. It turned out that Qin was inviting Duo for a date at a hotel the next day. The following day, Qin was rehearsing what he wanted to say to Duo because he planned to propose to her. Everything was set for the romantic moment. Soon after, the door suddenly opened and a young woman walked in. However, when Qin saw her face, his expression instantly changed. The woman in the blue dress wasn't Duo, but Jenny. At that moment, Jenny threw herself into Qin's arms, saying she would never leave him again. Duo, who arrived late, saw them together and questioned their relationship. Before Qin could answer, Jenny claimed that she was Qin's girlfriend who had just returned from abroad. As a result, Jenny thanked Duo for taking care of Qin in her absence. She even handed Duo a check, treating her as if she had done everything just for money. Jenny then revealed a crescent moon tattoo on her palm, identical to the one on Qin's hand. Qin tried to explain the situation to Duo, but Jenny suddenly became hysterical, running to the table and grabbing a knife. Seeing this, Qin chose to approach Jenny to prevent her from doing anything dangerous. Unexpectedly, Jenny used the opportunity to turn and embrace Qin. Witnessing their closeness, Duo understood everything and decided to leave the hotel. Qin rushed after her, but couldn't find her anywhere. Realizing that Duo had packed her things and left their home, Qin's world fell apart. Meanwhile, Duo, sitting in a taxi, complained to Chengzi about Qin, expressing her deep disappointment in all the men from the Qin family. But shortly after, Duo received a phone call from Zhang, informing her that Qin had been in a car accident and was currently in the hospital. As a result, Duo immediately rushed to the hospital, where she met with the doctor, who explained that Qin's recovery depended on her. Zhang also revealed that Qin hadn't eaten or drunk anything while searching for her, and on his way home, he had the accident and fell into a coma. Seeing Qin lying helplessly in the hospital bed, Duo felt sad and slightly guilty. Soon after, everyone left the room, leaving Duo to care for Qin. She sat beside his bed, praying that he would wake up soon. As Qin remained unconscious, Duo became desperate and warned him that if he didn't wake up, she would find another man to love. Surprisingly, Qin suddenly woke up, reaching out to grab her arm, begging her not to leave him. Later that afternoon, Zhang drove Duo home so she could make porridge. When Zhang returned to the hospital, he praised Qin for his brilliant plan, which successfully brought Duo back to him by pretending to be gravely ill. Qin then asked Zhang about Jenny. It turned out, Zhang had lied to Jenny, telling her that Qin was away on a business trip, ensuring she wouldn't bother them for a while. Hearing this, Qin mentioned that the Qin family owed a debt to Jenny's parents, so they had to treat her well. However, Qin wondered how Jenny had found out about him and Duo. Soon after, Duo visited Qin with the porridge she had made. Since his hands were bandaged, Qin asked Duo to feed him. During this moment, Qin explained his relationship with Jenny. He told Duo that Jenny was his childhood friend, but he was never romantically interested in her. It was revealed that Jenny had bipolar disorder, which caused her to have sudden outbursts, and he had hugged her the previous day to calm her down and prevent her from hurting Duo. Jenny had been undergoing treatment abroad, but he didn't know why she had suddenly returned. Although Duo now understood the situation, she told Qin that they still needed to part ways. As she was about to leave, Qin suddenly embraced her, confessing that the accident had been a lie. Duo quickly realized that Qin had only pretended to be sick and left him immediately. Qin tried to chase after her, but the entire hospital plunged into darkness due to a power outage. Panic set in, and Qin became terrified. He fell to the floor, crawling in fear, desperately seeking help. Qin tried to stand, leaning on a door frame, but accidentally fell and hit his head on a medical cart. As bottles and medical equipment on the cart nearly tumbled onto him, Duo arrived just in time to prevent a disaster. Seeing Qin panic and crying in fear, Duo was suddenly reminded of the past. It turned out that Qin was the little boy she had met in a hospital when she was a child. Back then, Duo had found Qin, scared of the darkness that enveloped the hospital due to a blackout. She had comforted the frightened Qin, showing him the crescent moon-shaped birthmark behind her ear. At that moment, Duo had told young Qin that the birthmark made her shine in the darkness like the moon, and she would stay with him so he wouldn't feel scared anymore. In the present, after seeing Duo, Qin finally felt at ease expressing his emotions and hugged her tightly. The next morning, Li Wei was seen stepping into a luxury car, where Jenny was already waiting for her. Jenny immediately complained to Li Wei, confused as to why Qin kept ignoring her. Li Wei then showed Jenny a photo of Qin in the hospital, explaining that it was all because Duo wanted to take Qin for herself. At that moment, Li Wei and Jenny began plotting something to remove Duo from Qin life. The scene then shifted to the past, showing young Duo and Qin as close friends. Back then, Qin told Duo that he would go abroad once he left the hospital. Upon hearing that, Duo took a marker and drew a crescent moon on Qin palm, so he would always remember her and not feel afraid when trapped in the dark. Qin was happy, but he didn't know how to repay her kindness, so he promised that when he grew up, he would return the favor to her. In the present, Qin told Duo that ever since they parted, he had never erased the crescent moon mark. He quietly redrew it whenever it faded until he finally decided to make it a permanent tattoo. After learning all of this, Duo asked why Jenny also had the same tattoo. Qin explained that Jenny had always imagined herself as the woman he loved, so she got the same tattoo to deceive herself. The misunderstanding was finally resolved, and Duo secretly felt happy. She thought Jenny was only a replacement, but Qin held her hand tightly, telling her that no one in the world could ever replace her. Hearing this, Duo asked why Qin never looked for her after returning from abroad. Qin explained that when he found out Duo had entered university, he hurried back to see her. However, when he arrived at the campus gate with a bouquet of flowers in hand, he accidentally saw Duo with her boyfriend, who turned out to be none other than Qin Lang. As a result, Qin could only hold back his tears and pain as he watched Duo walk away with Qin Lang. Later, Qin learned that Qin Lang was going to marry Duo, but he didn't want to attend the wedding until Zhang told him that Qin Lang's bride wasn't Duo but Li Wei. However, Qin chose not to tell Duo about any of this, as it was all in the past. Shortly afterward, Duo reminded Qin of the promise they had made in the hospital, where Qin had vowed to marry her. At that moment, they renewed their pinky promise, and Duo affectionately called Qin her husband. Just as they were about to kiss, Zhang suddenly appeared with shocking news. The following day, Qin attended a meeting with the company's executives to address the leaked photos of him and Jenny that had gone public. This caused an immediate impact on the company, as everyone knew that Qin was supposed to be married to Duo. During the meeting, Qin finally admitted that he wasn't yet married to Duo, but he planned to marry her soon, with Qin Group facing significant financial losses due to the scandal. The executives demanded that Qin resolve the issue within 3 days or risk losing his position as the head of the Qin family. At that moment, Jenny unexpectedly entered the meeting room, stating that her family would help Qin Group recover from the crisis on the condition that Qin agreed to marry her. Meanwhile, Duo was surrounded by reporters, all eager to get her statement on the scandal involving her and Qin. Seeing this, Qin stepped forward to help her. He publicly announced to the reporters that he had lied to everyone about their marriage and had selfishly used Duo. As a result, Qin decided to resign from his position as president of Qin Group. After making the announcement, Qin and Duo left the company, starting a new chapter in their lives by going on a date at a flower garden. People there quickly recognized Qin and began taking photos of them. Instead of hiding, Duo and Qin openly displayed their relationship by sharing a kiss, proving to everyone that they were truly in love. When they arrived home, they were unexpectedly greeted by Jenny, who demanded to know why Qin had resigned from Qin Group. Jenny brought up the deal she had offered, but Qin firmly rejected it. Holding Duo's hand tightly, Qin stated that marriage wasn't a business deal or a game, and that he only wanted to marry the woman he loved. Jenny tried to convince Qin by showing the crescent moon tattoo to prove their connection, but this time, Qin wasn't swayed. He urged Jenny to stop deceiving herself. Upon being rejected by Qin, Jenny flew into a rage, but Qin stood his ground, declaring that he would marry Duo even if it meant losing everything. As a result, Jenny's heart shattered, and she began screaming, ordering her bodyguards to contact Li Wei. At that moment, Duo tried to comfort Jenny with a hug, but Jenny insisted on meeting with Li Wei. The next day, Qin Lang and his mother arrived at the main hall of the Qin family residence to attend the family meeting. Since the agreed 3-day deadline had passed, it was time for the Qin family to choose a new head. Unexpectedly, they found the hall empty until Li Wei suddenly appeared from behind a screen. Qin was somewhat surprised to see Li Wei and asked why she was there. Soon after, Qin, Duo, and others also appeared. It turned out that Jenny had revealed the truth to Qin, exposing that Li Wei had been conspiring with Qin to overthrow him from his position as the head of the Qin family. Although Li Wei confessed to all her crimes, she still blamed and hated Duo. Meanwhile, Qin decided to let the police handle the situation and told Li Wei and Qin to prepare their lawyers, as they would be tried for their crimes. At that moment, Qin Lang begged Qin to forgive his mother, but Qin refused, stating that Qin and Li Wei had hurt his wife and tarnished the reputation of the Qin family. After everyone left, Qin praised Duo, thanking her for helping to expose Li Wei and lure Qin into a trap to catch them. Both were grateful that everything had been resolved smoothly. Sometime later, it was time for the jewelry design competition awards ceremony. Duo and Qin were among the audience, waiting for the host to announce the competition results. The host then revealed the winner, which turned out to be Duo. Because of this, the audience erupted into applause, showing their appreciation for Duo. She went up on stage and shared the inspiration behind her designs, speaking of darkness, a lonely boy's fears, and the love story between that boy and a girl with a crescent moon. The film ended with Duo fulfilling her promise to Qin, asking him to marry her. Upon hearing that, Qin immediately stood up, declaring that he agreed, and confidently walked onto the stage. They then exchanged rings and kissed, proving their true love in front of everyone. Moral lesson from the story: Never fake an illness to win someone's heart, because if they catch you, you might end up more bruised than loved. Also, if you think playing the violin will fix a date, just remember that magic tricks don't work on love either.